Okay, all right, we have a quorum, so we'll get started. Okay. We're going to call Sheldon ISD Board meeting to order at 6:01.
7:01.
I fixed that clock the other day. At 7:01. Thank you for that correction. Let the record show all board members are present except for Ms. Palmer, Ms. Miles, and Ms. Archie, who are in the cafeteria, will be here shortly. Do you want to pray? Sure. Okay. If everyone rise, we'll start with a presentation of colors. We'll do the prayer after. Yeah, I know, and I saw that.
Color guard, ho. Color guard, ho. Pose. East, hands, arms.
Please join me for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God,
One and indivisible.
Order, arms. Pose. Color guard, ho.
Thank you. You may be seated. I don't want to throw everybody for a loop. We're going to move on now with our prayer. Dr. Davis, would you care to lead us in a prayer this evening?
Sure. Oh, join me in a word of prayer, please. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for this opportunity, God, to gather, to fellowship, to do the business of the district. I pray that you provide the board members with wisdom to make the appropriate and effective decisions for the district. I pray just for everyone here, God, as we celebrate our students and our faculty, and just pray for our return, safe return homes. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Dr. Davis. Okay, now we're going to move on to celebrations. Dr. Davis, would you lead us in that?
All right, as Ms. Conklin and her team makes their way, again, welcome to tonight's board meeting. This is always a great part. All of it's fun, but this is the best part, right? We get to celebrate students and our faculty, and so at this time, I turn it over to Ms. Conklin.
Yes. And if you, Dr. Davis and Mr. Rivas can join us down at the front, we'll get started with those. We have lots of celebrations this evening, so we're going to start off with our Student and Teachers of the Month. So we'll start with Monahan Elementary, and we'll start with our Student of the Month, Melissa Sandoval. You want to come up to the front? Melissa has been... Yes. Melissa has been nominated for showing excellence each day at school. She has great attendance and behavior. She's kind to her classmates while still excelling academically in class. As a student transitioning to all English instruction this year in our multilingual program, she is one of our top academic students in 5th grade. And next, our Teacher of the Month at Monahan Elementary is Kenya Mendoza. You want to come to the front? Ms. Mendoza works very hard to ensure her students not only pass their practice tests, but continues to push them to the meets and masters level. She has excellent attendance and works collaboratively with her team to ensure they do what's best for students each day. Okay, next for Royalwood Elementary, Student of the Month is Romeo Rincon. You want to come to the front? He is a 4th grade. He works extremely hard and strives to do his best and improve in areas. While he maintains very high averages in class, he also has nearly perfect, if not perfect, attendance. His effort, his scores, his behavior, and attendance all contribute to the reason he has been nominated. And our Teacher of the Month is Maria Luna de Pacheco. You want to come to the front? She has been nominated for her large impact on student growth and achievement. She implements new strategies to address new STAR items, and her students have shown growth in these areas. She's a team player, leads discussions and planning, shares ideas and strategies. She has great work ethic, and it is noticeable in her classroom culture and student achievement. And our Student and Teacher of the Month at Sheldon Elementary. So our Student of the Month is Matthew Denman. Matthew is a 5th grade student at Sheldon Elementary. He excels academically and shows leadership skills. He participates in extracurricular activities such as C-STEM and UIL. He also serves as an avid ambassador and is a model student at the school. And our Teacher of the Month is Kenesha Shields. She is a 2nd grade teacher at Sheldon Elementary. She demonstrates leadership with students, colleagues, and community members in the school through effective communication and outreach. Okay, next moving on to our CARE Award winners. So as you know, throughout the year, our Sheldon ISD employees are nominated by their peers and families for our CARE Award, which stands for Caught Acting and Responding with Excellence. It recognizes employees with exemplary customer service. So throughout the year, we recognize at least 3 every quarter. And so back on March 28th, the following employees were recognized. So we will call you up to the front and take a photo. So first we have Miss Williams, our principal from Garrett Elementary. Miss Williams was nominated for her positive attitude and problem-solving skills. Her nomination form says she takes a personal interest in each person and is able to build lasting relationships with her school community. Next we have Miss Jordan, an instructor at Case Academy. Okay. And then next we have Miss Gloria Martel, our Title III instructional paraprofessional from the multilingual department. She was nominated for her positivity, especially within the community as a community member in Sheldon ISD. Many employees come to her for assistance. They say she's positive, smiling, and even when faced with a challenge, she perseveres. The CARE Award is also a partnership with Wood Forest Bank, and each honoree is presented with a $100 gift card as well. All right, next we want to recognize our Principals of the Year. So if our 2 Principals of the Year can come to the front, we have Miss Benavides from Carroll Elementary. And we have Miss Sampson from King Middle School. We will officially recognize these folks as well as our campus teachers, rookie, and paraprofessionals of the year at our Sheldon Stars Banquet, which is May 4th. Next, I would like to invite our principal of Sheldon Elementary, Miss Jana Rolling, to the front. So After a visit from nearly 60 avid leaders nationwide, Sheldon Elementary was recently identified as one of only 2 avid elementary showcase campuses in Texas. Showcase campuses are schools that consistently pursue a college readiness system of rigor and high expectations in all content area classrooms. Other educators visit showcase campuses to observe effective AVID implementation and to learn from AVID teachers, administrators, and students. Congratulations to Ms. Rolling, her entire staff, and Mr. Heath Deere, who's our AVID academics coordinator. All right, and next this evening, we are going to be presenting some scholarships for 2 of our Army ROTC students. So we have Mr. Alvarez here this evening, and I believe Captain Cherry. So first, we have Cadet Villanueva, who is going to the University of Houston, and he is accompanied by his family this evening.
For being here for this presentation too. I know it's not part. It was brought in here for us to present to them. So I work for ROTC for the Army, and we look for student athlete leaders. So they have to be 3.5 GPA and above, great athletics, and some type of leadership in their school or their off time. And we award them with scholarships, full ride scholarships to over 1,300 universities. We cover full tuition, pay them a monthly stipend and $1,200. Wow. And then, yes, I met Harvard, Yale, whatever school. I met Renee here because Sergeant Smith, come here real quick. And Sergeant Smith's an Army recruiter, and she called me and said, I got a young man, he is stellar. I mean, what's your GPA?
Like a 6.7. I mean, 5.7. It's like a 4.9.
4.9. Yep. And I interviewed him. We put him through a rigorous process. All the Army officers, we board him. He does interviews, and he happens to win. So today, without further ado, I want to present him a check. Come over here on this side, man.
A shout for you. Hey, now.
All right.
I know he's all right.
Come on now.
That's a church moment right
The
there.
amount of the check is depending on the tuition of the school, right? So another young man that we found was, come over here. Student athlete leadership requirements. You also been accepted to Texas A&M. So you guys are going to do great things for the Army. They're going to be Army officers when they graduate with a 4-year degree.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
We have another check presentation this evening. So I'd like to invite Ms. Zalesnik, as well as Ms. Burke, and then the Stoltenmeyers. They are presenting a check to our Early Childhood Academy principals. So we have Mr. Leal and Ms. Vivas. So the JSC chapter of the NASA Alumni League was formed in 1989 under the leadership of former JSC director Jerry Griffin. This founding group wanted to provide an organization for NASA civil servant alumni to continue to be engaged in the mission of the agency and to keep this past workforce connected. So they are presenting a check this evening that will help purchase STEM kits for the STEAM labs at Cravens and Sheldon Early Childhood Academies.
We also have calendars for the board members and for the superintendent. I like y'all know that's my auntie. That's my auntie.
This is Archie's auntie. She gonna-
Thank you.
So that concludes our celebration as it relates to the folks here in person. Again, just want to congratulate the students. Ms. Rowland, man, that's awesome. Ms. Rowland, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back just for a second. Some folks might not know what AVID is. I don't want to assume that. Would you explain that, Ms. Sheldon, what that is and what that entails? That's a big deal. Only one of two in the state of Texas. So I'm putting you on the spot.
All right, so AVID stands for the Advancement via Individual Determination. What it is a system of college readiness. We're starting at the elementary level to prepare them to be future leaders. It's including the instruction, the leadership, the culture, and the system on the campus.
So your students did an excellent job. It was student-led. Those folks, it was a huge group of, like, I was a little intimidated. It was about, 50, 60 people. There was a lot of folks that came in and really toured and spent a lot of time with their students and staff. The students did an excellent job. That just speaks volumes of your leadership, so good job. All right.
All right, just a few more spotlights we want to share with you. So you remember earlier this year, we shared with you about 22 nominations for our Tommy Tune finalists here from King High School's show earlier, and we have 4 that were selected as finalists. So it's for Outstanding Lighting Design, Outstanding Scenic Design, Outstanding Lead Finalist, and Outstanding Technical Achievement. So the Houston Tommy Tune Awards program celebrates the educational value, artistry, and community of high school musical theater in the greater Houston area. So this year's awards ceremony will be held May 4th at 7 p.m. Next, we want to recognize our indoor drumline that competed at the Texas Color Guard Circuit Championships at Texas A&M University. They received 6th place in state this past weekend, and that's the highest award at this contest in the school's history. We also want to showcase the work from our fine arts students at our annual Choral Canvas District Fine Arts Festival that took place last week. These 2 evenings consist of choir performances from all of our 13 schools, and additionally an art show is set up for community members to view selected artwork as well. On April 12th, we had 10 student athletes sign their NCAA letters of intent to show their commitment to play at the collegiate level. So we had athletes from volleyball, girls basketball, softball, cross country, girls track, and football. Earlier in February, we had 14 athletes signed to play at college for football. And all of their names are listed on our website as well. We also want to give a big congratulations to our softball team. They will be advancing to the playoffs, and this is the first time since 1991, Coach? So they're playing this evening as well. We also want to talk about our STEM showcases. So each middle school, Knoll and King Middle School, as well as King High School, held their annual STEM showcases this past week. Students in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics courses. This event provides a place for students to present their best work on project-based learning assignments while preparing them for their future careers, and we had hundreds of different projects that were being showcased. Additionally, we want to celebrate that it's National Volunteer Appreciation Month, so we want to give a big thank you to all of our volunteers. We have more than 1,125 volunteers in Sheldon through our Families in Action program that launched this year. So volunteers have spent time throughout the course of the school year mentoring students, chaperoning field trips, assisting teachers and staff with different projects on campus, and participating in different events. So just so you know, our volunteers this year have worked more than 6,320 hours. The independent sector estimates the value of a volunteer hour at $29.95. So those 6,327 hours total $189,493.65 in contributions of serving our kids. So thank you to our volunteers. And last but not least, next week is our National After School Program Appreciation Week. Our after school program is led by Dr. Brenda Dearman. See her somewhere. So we want to thank her and her staff for all that they do for our students. We also want to mention some of the grants that have been awarded. So we have one from the Office of the Governor Public Safety Office Criminal Justice Division. So that is $56,000 or $56,070 in safety enhancements that we'll be using. And then also want to mention some of the visitors that have been coming to our district. So we're planning for one coming up on May 3rd from Mayfield Public Schools. It's their superintendent, and that's based out of Ohio. They're visiting our Fueling Brains program. And then we also had Dayton ISD visiting Garrett Elementary to learn more about Amplify. And I believe that concludes all of our celebrations.
Awesome, good job, guys, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Excited about all the celebrations. That's awesome. So we're going to take things a little bit out of order this evening. I apologize for that. We have a couple things we have to take care of before we move on. We're going to go into closed session. And I encourage those of you who want to stay, please do. Parents, we're done with you, so this gives you an opportunity if you want to escape. So adjournment closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551071, 551.129, consultation with board's attorney concerning legal and procedural issues related to non-renewal, termination, suspension without pay of terminated certified educators, 551072. Discuss the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, 551074. To consider, discuss recommendations to propose non-renewal of Administrator Kevin Haynes, and proposed termination and suspension without pay of teacher Ruth Cantu, and for the purpose of consideration, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, a discipline or dismissal of a public officer, employee, to hear complaints or charges against a public officer, employee, and 551076, for considering the deployment of specific occasions for implementation of security personnel at 724. Okay. All right, we're going to reconvene to open session at 8:33, and I appreciate everyone's patience as we completed our closed session. We're going to move on to item 14A under personnel.
Mr. President, it is recommended that Dr. Demetrius McCall be named as the lone finalist for the Sheldon ISD superintendent.
Have a
And
motion
I
by Ms.
second that.
I have a motion by Ms. Martinez and a second, enthusiastic second by Ms. Archie.
Yes, indeed.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Dr. McCall, we haven't voted yet, obviously. So, actually, we just did, but want to give you the opportunity to share any words of wisdom you might want to share, and your family's here with you this evening. Thank you for staying. Thank you for indulging us.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Good to see some familiar faces and some new faces. Today is a good day. The Lord saw fit for it to be a good day, so it's a good day.
Amen.
So first, I want to start out by thanking the Board of Trustees. Thank you all so much for the vote of confidence. Know that I did not and will not take this opportunity for granted. And I do plan to work with you under your direction to be sure that the students and the staff and the community understand the great things that are happening in Sheldon ISD and that our students receive the best opportunities as possible. Dr. Davis, the retiring superintendent, thank you so much, sir. I had the pleasure of working under your leadership for 4 years, and so thank you for the support, the encouragement, the growth, the career growth that certainly prepared me for this moment. I have my family here with me, so my wife, Candace McCall, of 17 years. Counselor here in the district for the last 5 years, and we have our children, Donovan and Layla. So thank you all for the sacrifice you made for us to be here today. I love you all and celebrate. To the employees here that I've had an opportunity to work with, and for those that I am soon to meet, I look forward to reuniting and finding out what's been going on over the last 3 years. It wouldn't be ideal for me to think that you all are the same people that you were when I left back in 2020. I think after what we've all gone through, we're all different. And so I look forward to getting to know the new you and the positive contributions you continue to make to Sheldon ISD. And so I look forward to the day of being back full time. And once again, thank you all for this opportunity.
On behalf of the board, I know that we've had a few conversations already, and we're excited for the opportunities that we know you're going to bring for our district, and look forward to working with you. As I shared with you, you may remember, I just feel like Dr. McCall's been on a vacation. He's just coming back to work now. So the comfort level there is going to be high. The honeymoon is going to be short.
Yes, sir.
So I know you'll jump right in and go to work. If it was somebody that wasn't familiar with the district, we'd have a little bit longer honeymoon, but it's going to be very short. We're going to get right to work, hit the ground running. I do want to recognize John Kirchner, who's with us this evening, who came out to be here for this moment. Thank you, John. Thank you for joining us this evening. We appreciate it. We have retired many great individuals, great leaders in our district. Not only have retired a few of them, but we've also built and created superintendents that are now in other districts. So I think that says a lot for our district, for the leadership that we have had in place to have these individuals grow under our superintendent's leadership and go and be leaders in other districts. So we have a lot of Sheldon ties in other areas, so we're very proud of that. And with Dr. McCall coming back, obviously that is just coming back home, I feel like, for you. So we appreciate that. Look forward to everything that we're going to continue to grow on, that the legacy that Dr. Davis is going to leave once he steps down. It's no small feat of what we've done in the past in his tenure with us, And it's something to be very proud of, and that's going to last in this district for many generations to come. So thank you, Dr. Davis, for that. I know it's not your last day, but I just want to share those words of appreciation for you.
You ready? Here? No, I'm just kidding, sir. But trust me, I'm checking it out. No, the board, though, they know I love this board, man. I'll always be grateful to this community. I've said my goodbyes, guys. I won't get into that tonight. We got more work to do. So as the team knows, man. So I'm looking forward to it, sir. All right.
Very encouraged. Thank you. All right, we're going to move back to item 6, reports and discussions. Item A, and thank you everyone again for indulging us as our closed session. We went in there first. Thank you for staying, and we look forward to sharing with these reports and discussions. So King Nurses in Training, student report.
Good evening. I guess I need to get close to this mic. My name is Janice Whiting. I am an avid teacher at King High School. I serve as the avid teacher for our knit program. I also want to introduce some of the administrators that are here on behalf of our program. Dr. Saeed, our principal, who supports us through it all. We appreciate you. Our director, Ms. Benita Taylor, we thank you for being here. I also want to identify or recognize some of our supporting members that began the program. Mr. Gonzalez was our first assistant principal. Ms. Mills served as our first counselor, then our assistant principal, and then an associate principal in support of the program. The young ladies that we have here tonight to speak, we have one of our rising seniors, Ms. Kaylin Lemons, and we also have one of our graduating students from 2021 who is now just freshly pinned and earned her ADN through the program. She is our co-valedictorian of the class of 2021, and they're going to talk about their experiences. I just want to kind of begin with telling you a little bit about KNIT. KNIT is an acronym for the King Nurses in Training Program. We started this program actually started in 2018, where we had 2 cohorting classes. We started with a class of freshmen, and then we had a class of 10th graders. So with those kids, they started in the summertime. The 10th graders started their first class that summertime for them. And they had to go through a very rigorous coursework. This program is set up for students to be in an accelerated path for the nursing program, and they get to take their prerequisite courses and finish those and go straight into a nursing program when they graduate high school. Can I have that first slide? Oh, that's what this is? Educate me. Okay, so the KNIT program is a rigorous accelerated nursing track. Students will earn a minimum of 18 credit hours by the time they graduate high school or they graduate CE King High School. In preparation of the nursing field, they will complete an associate's degree in nursing, or we've also added a new track, a vocational nurses certification for students that are prepared but not as prepared as that higher level. So we have 2 options for them. However, between both tracks, the students still have the opportunity to earn a registered nursing degree by the time they finish in 2 years. So the LVN leads into a first-year program to earn a certificate, and then the following year, they would earn their RN.
Good evening. My name is Shantae Hardy. I'm the Work-Based Learning Coordinator for CTE. And so I act as a King Nurses in Training liaison as well. And as Ms. Whiting was saying, we are really excited actually about having a new opportunity with the LVN program. So before we only had the ADN program. So now this program actually allows students to have 3 less prerequisites. So they just have to have the Anatomy and Physiology 1 class to be able to get in, along with their HESI, their CPR BLS, and their titers, the other things that students would need to get into that program. So we are very excited about that. The financial savings for this program is impeccable. If you are paying attention to anything that's going on in healthcare, just like the education system, we are at a shortage of nurses, LVNs, RNs, and this is something that all students have the opportunity to join in. Starting in eighth grade, they start to do those programs of study, and so they choose this for 9th through 12th grade. So this is something that obviously is very competitive, and it's something that they can do though. So as Ms. Rawlings earlier was with Avid, that's something that we really push. We are an Avid school district, so one of the ways that our students are successful is through that Avid knit program. So making sure that they are on top of their time management, they're studying, they're all of the dates and everything else that you have to have, because as we know, it's a little bit different whenever you leave K through 12. Those deadlines are mandatory. And so no one, asks you again, do you have it? Same thing that we see in the hospitals. So this is something that we really do push students to take advantage of. Financial savings, as I was saying, they have paid tuition and textbooks, which if we look at this comparatively, if a student is wanting to go to any four-year university or even a community college outside of the Promise Act, they're looking to pay between $5,000 to $35,000 a semester. And so obviously that is a financial hardship when you're saying, I want to be a nurse, but how do you pay for it? So, or even if someone like you and I with a second degree or third degree in this program in RN, they could be paying anywhere from $80,000 to $90,000 as an accelerated program, let's say to U of H. They have an accelerated 1-year program, but they obviously are having to pay for that. So that is something that we want to make sure that students take advantage of, and they take advantage of the help and supports that we have with that. The competitive edge that we have, so we have spots that are given to these students for each program as long as they meet the standards. They have the prerequisites, either that one class for the LVN program along with their HESI and their CPR, and that 3.5. That is something that we push for because we don't know which each class has. So each semester is a different pool of students. So that might, and it depends on who is actually in that pool. So for the graduates that you'll see in just a second, like our students in 2021 or any of these, they are in classes with people that are everybody in this room's age. So they might have started out later, or maybe they're younger, but our students are usually the youngest in the program. So not only are they having to balance the age difference or even the maturity, they're having to balance everything. If you think about whenever you were 18 years old or 16 being in these classes, that a lot of us learned some of these study skills when we were older. So this is something that we definitely want to make sure that we support them with as parents, as a community, and obviously as the educators as well. On the screen is an example of the 4 prerequisites for our ADN program. So they will have their 3 science classes and labs. So that'll include anatomy and physiology 1 and 2 in lab, along with their microbiology and their English 1 composition. So these things are, as we would say, crosswalk to their high school class as well. So they're getting their high school credits along with their college credits as well. So this is part of our technical dual credit program as well with CTE. So with that being said, one of our juniors will speak about her experience in the program.
Hi, my name is Kaylin Lemons. I would first like to start off saying thank you everyone who's put the time and effort into this program and for giving me this opportunity. I'm really thankful for it. I want to talk about what my expectations were going into the program. So my sophomore year going into my junior year, that summer I took general psychology, and being in that environment, being in that college environment was different for me because I didn't really know what to expect. Being completely honest, I didn't really know what the program was about. I just know that I was going to be in a pre-nursing program, I was going to be taking a couple of prerequisites, and that was going to be that. I wasn't really expecting it to be challenging, although when you hear nursing, the first thing you think of it is it being challenging, but it hadn't really hit me yet. My sophomore year, I'm not going to say I was unmotivated or I didn't really feel the need to do anything, but I just had no work ethic. Wouldn't really call myself lazy, but I just really didn't push myself enough, except when it came down to trying to pass the TSI, which are the math and reading tests you need to take those college courses. So it was having to kind of transfer that mindset and having to realize that you're going to have to change your mindset going into that program. And it's a lot. Going into my junior year, which is now, it's been the most challenging, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I am a little burnt out, but in a way it's been rewarding because, you put all this time, you have to learn all these different things. Not only have I learned how to study better and how to become a better person academically, but also mentally and emotionally, putting time aside for myself because these things aren't easy. Aside from this program, I do play tennis, and I have been active this semester playing tournaments, and I have really had to learn some type of perseverance within myself, trying to balance that time out and really prioritize that time because I had to learn that sometimes I have to miss practice so I can attend tutorials, that sometimes I have to just put time aside for this. And it's not easy because you still want to be able to enjoy high school, but you also want to be successful in this program. And it's just being competitive in the program and realizing that, if I were a patient and someone was my nurse, I would want them to be educated on all these different things. So it's also about doing that, and I don't make time for myself sometimes, which can be dangerous, but it's natural, I guess. So now, like I mentioned before, I'm going into my senior year, and everyone tells you that senior year is going to be your worst year. It's going to be trying to apply for all these different types of stuff, financial aid and all of that, and trying to get everything straight and flat out and prom and all these different things. And I want to still be able to enjoy my my senior year, but I also want to be able to continue in this program the same way I have been doing so before. And also the other thing is taking the HESI, which is a big deal. And I don't have anyone in my family who is in the healthcare system. So it's not a walk alone, but it's definitely a new journey, one that, not many people in my family have experienced. So I'm kind of like leading an example, and I feel like that's in a way really important. If anything, I'm really excited. I'm excited to see where this program takes me. I see the other girls and people in the program who have advanced into Sanjak's nursing program, and it makes me excited to think that one day that'll be me, and that I had been given this opportunity. I also want to talk about the AVID class that NIT has. Every day after I come back from Sanjak, I go to my AVID class. And this is a class specifically designed for NIT. And I feel like it's important to have this class. And this class has really, really helped me a lot. I've been with Ms. Whiting this is my second year now. I've been with her since my sophomore year. And I think her as a teacher has really, really pushed me into doing better and becoming a better person, not only academically, but emotionally and mentally. Because like I mentioned before, I am severely burnt out. And it's normal, but it's having to learn how to combat that, having to combat those new feelings, and unfortunately having to work through it because, like Ms. Hardy said, those deadlines, they don't stop. Time does not stop. So it's having to do that. We also have in-class tutors. Every Wednesday, I meet with a tutor who sits down with me, who's also in nursing school, and who sits down with me and reviews different topics with me. I'm currently taking Anatomy and Physiology 2 and Introduction to Humanities. Anatomy 2 has been really challenging for me. I have been doing very well, but it's learning how to study. So we sit down and we talk about different things that I can do differently, and things I might have to change or I might have to slow down on. And it's just having to learn how to do all of those different things. Also, we can make time out with our professors. My professor likes to have Zoom sessions for reviews for exams, and the AVID class allows me to make that time out of my day without it having to interfere with those high school courses, so I can get that time and have a one-on-one review session with my professor. And also having those opportunities that Sanjak, those activities Sanjak may have, where we can go out and experience that, especially when it's for extra credit. And that's all I have.
If I may comment, I feel compelled to comment, Ms. Lemon. You're very wise beyond your years, young lady. And so all that you've shared, I tell you, stay committed As it sounds like you understand delayed gratification, right? So what you're putting in now, I know you gotta not experience or you're removing some things, other things that you would like to enjoy. And so just continue with that spirit, young lady. You're well beyond your years, trust me. So stay in that lane. You're gonna be just fine. Good job.
Thank you.
If I may add, I know I'm a different new board member, but I feel like I need to come and give you a hug. Do you mind?
Kaylin didn't mention this, but she's also been invited to college at St. Jacinto College because of her class and how she's done.
Okay.
So she's been invited into the program.
Awesome. Good for her.
We also wanted to share just a little bit of data. The first cohorting class graduated in 2020. And out of that class, we had 8 seniors. 2 of them actually were eligible to apply to the SanJack program. And those 2 were accepted. However, 1 attended the program and graduated last spring. And is now an ADN, or has earned his ADN. In 2021, which is Jennifer's class, and she's gonna tell you about her experiences, there were 10 seniors in that class that applied for the program. 7 of the seniors were accepted into the program the following fall. Of that 7, 6 of them graduated last month and were pinned with their ADN. The 7th one will graduate next fall, so she will finish up in the fall. 2022, this year we have 5 seniors that will be applying to SanJack. Of those, am I in the wrong one? I apologize. I'm sorry. There's 5 from last year, and 1 student applied to SanJack, and she is currently in the program. She will graduate next spring. She is on track to graduate next spring. And our current class is 2023. We have 5 seniors this year that are eligible to apply. 4 of them will be applying for the ADN program, and 1 of them will be applying for the LVN. So we anticipate that they will be on track and they will be graduating in 2 years, so in 2025. And this is Jennifer, and she's gonna tell us about her experience from high school to the ADN program.
Okay, hello guys, good evening. Like she said, I am a graduate from 2021, and in all honesty, this program does offer a lot of amazing opportunities for students to embark on their nursing journey. As a high schooler, I don't think I realized how much of a help it was truly going to be. Like she was saying, not that I was slacking or anything, but I also joined just because they were like, oh, they were talking about how good it was and that you could be in healthcare and stuff, and I was like, why not just give it a shot? But now, as a recent nursing school graduate, I often find myself thinking about how lost I would have been if I didn't join NIT. NIT itself did allow me to complete my prerequisites while I was in nursing school, beginning the summer of my sophomore year at no cost, which definitely gets rid of the huge financial burden for families. This is just another one of the advantages that it does hold. It wasn't easy at all. It does take a lot of time and dedication and willpower to be able to keep up with both college and high school classes while participating in extracurriculars. I was in soccer for a while, cross country, volleyball, and so I did learn how to manage my time, and I'm extremely grateful for all the staff that was there to help guide us, and for our AVID class, which is where I was able to catch up on a lot of college homework and study for exams. They also helped us prep and complete our HESI entrance exam for our nursing school admission. I'm really thankful for all the doors that were opened for me because of NIT. Like she was saying, there was a time where, I had gotten emotional, sorry.
Be proud of you.
Yes, ma'am. Take your time. You're good.
Sorry. There was a time I also felt so burnt out. I was just tired and I felt so pressured. I'm the first one to attend college for my family. I have 5 other siblings.
Ma'am.
Sorry. And I remember at one point I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to complete any of my assignments. And I remember I reached out to them because I was like, I need help. And they shortly after, it was during COVID, so our classes were all online. And I remember her, yeah, Miss Mills, well, a lot of them, they they got on Zoom, and they talked me through it. I don't know, they just motivate me so much. I'm so happy that they're here. I'm so grateful for all their help. And I was able to push through. Like she said, I did graduate top of my class, and it's just a huge accomplishment for me. I recently graduated nursing school last March, and I already have a position. I'm just waiting to take my NCLEX on the 22nd of next month, but I'll be working as a nurse soon.
So we were able to attend their pinning ceremony, and we have a clip of where they were actually taking their Nightingale oath. So 6 of this class, the cohorting class began as 40 students going in to the program that year, and 20 graduated. Of that 20, 6 are our kids. Oh, it's spinning. He said it's spinning. Well, we are gonna share this with Ms. Gallo, and then that way she can share the video with you that you get to see all of our kids take their oath. That's it for us. You have any questions?
Really quickly, I'm sure the board may have some questions, but really quickly, young ladies, I just want you guys to know, first of all, I appreciate you, if you both would stand up. First of all, you blessed us tonight. Thank you for sharing your story and being vulnerable tonight. And you blessed me. I'm sitting here tearing up as well. As I complete my career as a public school educator, it just comes full circle for me, because this is what it's all about. And so I appreciate this board bringing in these types of programs and seeing the vision and making the vision come alive. And this is what it's about. Just stay committed, and you gotta have grit and continue to push through. So thank you guys. Thank you for sharing. And don't ever feel bad about showing emotion. So this is a tough journey. So thank you. Thank y'all for your commitment to the program. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Go ahead, Ms. Hart.
Sure.
Can y'all just come back? Come back.
And so I also want to thank you, because I know that you made the commitment to this MIT program. And, you know, it was something when we got started, it was amazing. But you said we will always commit and make sure that we have this program. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just wanted to commend the young ladies for hanging in there, because if we only had, I went to LVN school. Went to San Jack. I'm a product with San Jack, finished the LVN school at San Jack way back yonder. But if we had this when I was going to C.E. King, it would have saved my mom a whole lot of money. And, you know, just to, y'all don't realize how blessed y'all are. And I mean, to just come out of high school and go straight into a career. You just don't have a job, you have a career. And it's a rewarding career. And just keep going. And the young lady right here, like Dr. Davis said, you wise beyond your years, baby. I mean, you are, and just keep pushing. And you know, you get whatever you need, God got you. And whatever we can do I'm speaking for a board, but you know, whatever we can do, Ms. Archie, y'all get with Mr. Webster, he'll give y'all my phone number, I can connect you. My phone, cause I enjoy helping people, cause like you said, nobody's in your family is a nurse. In my family, my mom's an RN, my sister's an RN, so I had those people that could help me. But you got a village in Sheldon.
Yes, you do.
And if you need some help, I'm telling you, get with Mr. Webster and get my phone number, and I'll be there to help you.
And same here, and I told you that standing there. You are the inspiration of why I ran for this position, and makes my heart heavy, but with joy, to see that this district has made a huge impact on kids' lives. And that someday you'll be able to take care of me when I get older and the rest of us.
I'm gonna add, y'all went through a lot doing these classes online. My daughter also did A&P online, and all of these things where you're learning to check a blood pressure by clicking a space bar. And that's something that a lot of people in this room don't understand that experience. So feeling overwhelmed, like you can't push through, but you did it. And the bigger the sacrifice, the greater the reward.
Right.
My daughter has done this. She's now at A&M in nursing school. She felt like she didn't have a life in high school, but she will be 20 years old as a nurse. And that is something that is amazing. So know that no matter what happens, we're all proud of you. And I'm gonna give you her number because she did this by herself. I did not help her with this HESI. I didn't help her get into college. She did it all by herself so she could help other kids going through this. So I will make sure to give it to Ms. Gallo so you can reach out to her.
Powerful stuff.
Oh, good. If it makes
Yeah,
y'all
man.
feel any better, as a college student, I was maybe 20, 21, I had to take anatomy phys twice. I'm just, I have my doctorate now, but trust me, it's a journey, guys. So again, don't ever get down. Just keep pushing, keep persevering. So there you go.
Powerful stuff. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the program, and I know when we toured the school, when I toured the school before it was even finished, and we went through the lab there, it was, I knew it was gonna be something amazing, so really proud of you and really happy that you guys are achieving, and we're putting some great individuals out of that program, so thank you. All right. We're gonna follow that up with bond facilities, man. Should've saved that for the last one. I mean, Mr. Webster, give us some, try to follow that.
Okay,
Mr.
wow. Yeah, I don't know how to follow all that. I'll just say there's some great things happening in the district. So, we didn't have a bond and facilities update at the workshop, so just want to bring you up to speed on a couple quick items tonight. Not going to be very long. We'll save a lot of it for our workshop in May. So the first, the first thing are just some ongoing projects. Tonight, you're going to see an action item for bus purchase. That's for 4 76 passenger buses and 1 special needs bus. We did receive multiple bids, and so of course we took in cost, but we also took the ability to deliver. And so if we're able to move forward on these, we can get these in before school starts, is what our goal is, and the companies have talked to us about that and said that they're pretty sure that they can meet that deadline. Normally, we'd bring this to a board workshop, talk about it, and especially with the price, we'd wait, bring that back a second time. But I want to make sure that we get these in and have them on the roads at the beginning of the year. Next is that generator. We're still working on that at King 9th grade campus, but we have submitted that to the fire marshal. So our plan is in. Looking at our electrical work, we're going to have to do some work and changing some closets to some electrical closets, and LAN will be working with Dr. Grady to determine which ones that we can change. It looks like there's a possibility that we can change one of the closets that Harris County Public Health is not going to be using in that section of the building. Also, Crenshaw lighting, you know, while we move to a new stadium, that doesn't mean we want to let our older facilities go bad. So we're conducting a photometric study to determine the needs at the Crenshaw track and the field to replace those lights as part of our facility sustainment from those old lights to new LED lighting to cover the track and the field. And so we'll be moving forward on getting all of that done and then bringing that information to the board so that the board can make a determination if that's a project that you'd like to move forward with that facility sustainment funds. Next, Knoll Middle School, we are going out for a bid in the Houston Business Journal this week, this Friday, and then we'll republish it again for that project. We brought those schematics to the board a couple months ago, and so we're going to go out for a bid there. One of the criteria that we'll be looking at is we have included this time a hub utilization criteria. And that is, if the board remembers, that's the historically underutilized businesses. In some places, that's our MWBEs, our minority and women business enterprises. So that will be part of that criteria so that when we are coming up and selecting a contractor, that we can include that as part of our points when they're awarded, okay? So I just want to let you know that that is something we wanted to make sure that was in. And then we talked earlier about public address systems, and we did Cravens and Sheldon Early Childhood. We will be coming back to the board in the near future with the recommendation to install a new public address system in Knoll Middle School either this summer or this fall. The reason for that is because we're building a new wing. We need to have a new address system that we can patch the new wing into so that they match and so that they're not separate. We were going to wait until summer of 2024, but since we're building the building, it's easier to patch it in if the system already matches. So it was on plan for summer 2024. What we want to do is see if we can bring that in a little earlier, so as we build the building and build the public address system, we can match that system. And we can bring that, more information about that at the workshop. To the next slide, took a little bit. Okay, 9th and 10th grade campus. First and foremost, we did our wetlands due diligence survey. And so what we found is the area that is west of the indoor practice facility, there is some acreage there that is very concerning as far as wetlands. That would significantly delay the building of the facility because we would have to go back and mitigate those wetlands. So there's about 9 acres that are severely concerning, and then there's like 20 acres that are somewhat concerning. So we're just looking at an alternate facility, an alternate location, and that is to the south of the auxiliary fields. So it's kind of like to the west of Sheldon Lake towards C.E. King Parkway. And we'll bring that information to the board on May 2nd with some schematics on how that can fit in that same piece of property. It's a piece of property that we already own, and as far as the wetlands, it looks like this will not affect us in that area. Also, we've started our program of spaces. We've met with athletics and all of the departments to look at what are the needs for this facility, how many science labs, how many English classrooms, all of that, and we've been able to do that. And then we are looking at visioning and planning. And what I would tell the board is when we're going to bring some stuff forward, looking at what the building is going to look like, you'll see that it is a reflection of C.E. King High School, but it is not a repeat of C.E. King High School. So there will be some similarities, but yet we want this to be a campus of its own also. So we'll bring that forward, hopefully at May 2nd board workshop. Okay? Also, the KHS welding lab intake and exhaust that was approved a few months ago, that's done. Our Crenshaw gate installation, if you've been to Crenshaw parking lot recently, you'll see those new yellow gates out there. Looks a lot nicer. We've been able to section that facility, that parking lot off from King Middle or from King 9th grade when necessary. Our fabrication is being completed on our Huberger Hall exit gates, the Panther Stadium visitor gates, and the welding lab exit gates. Those are just putting some panic bars on. And then the other note tonight was attendance boundaries. We had talked earlier about moving Hampton Oaks, grades 1 through 5, from Sheldon Lake to Royalwood to address the overcrowding at Sheldon Lake. And if there's not any questions or concerns, then administration would like to move forward with that change and notify those families. We do know that there's a new apartment complex coming in at the end of Tidwell outside the Beltway, and that is going to Sheldon Lake. And we're seeing some other growth, so this will help alleviate that overcrowding, and Royalwood has the room for it. And that is considering that the new apartment complex Allure that is south of 90, right outside the Beltway, is also zoned to Royalwood. And so we've taken that into consideration.
Which apartment's on Beltway? I mean, on Tidwell.
Okay, so if you're driving from C.E. King Parkway and you're going out to the Beltway, when you go underneath the Beltway, that land right there is going to be a new apartment complex.
Okay.
And so that will be zoned to Sheldon Lake.
And then the new apartments on, what is that, west, what is that, North Houston?
Okay, so the new apartment complex is up here on it's North Lake Houston Parkway or East Mount Houston area. One of those apartments are zoned to Garrett Elementary. One is, an over, 55. And so the other one would be one that we would expect to get more students from.
Okay.
Okay, I still think we're gonna see probably a limited number of students there at first, but those apartments appear to be coming on board pretty quickly. Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Can't work JR's fancy slides. Okay, so what I wanted to bring to you tonight, we've talked about this before at one of our workshops, but it's been a little while, so I wanted to bring it back up. One of our safety upgrades that we want to use some of our bonds funds for has to do with an upgrade of our current security cameras. Now, we're not replacing all of our security cameras. What we've done is our project manager in our technology department, Michael Arrington, worked hand in hand with our principals in order to identify blind spots. So spots on our campuses where we have collection of kids, a need to see those with our cameras. And in order to alleviate those blind spots, we need to add cameras. So we're adding cameras to what we already have existing. The upgrade would consist of 138 interior cameras, and those would be spread across all of our campuses, including our FFA facility. 89 exterior cameras. Now, some of those we are replacing because they have like a shield around them, a clear shield, and over time, those shields become degraded and you don't have a clear view through those cameras. So those, we are replacing some of those. In order to run these cameras, we need switches, and I'm gonna do my best to explain what these switches are, but I may need to get Andre to help me. So with these switches, in order for these cameras to work on the network so that we can see them in lifetime, they have to be hooked up to switches. And so we're having to buy several of those. Also, we will purchase some storage arrays, and those storage arrays allow for enough storage for us to run these additional cameras also 24/7, so that they will not be motion activated, they will run all the time. This project will come up to a total of $344,035.52, and it is an action item on the agenda. Do you have any questions?
Was this due to our bandwidth? Are we gonna now have to increase bandwidth or anything for the cameras, or?
I don't
have the
think we will
capacity
have to
there?
increase bandwidth, will we, Andre? Yeah,
Today, huh?
yeah, today we're good.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you. Is that all facilities? Okay, moving on to C, salary raise discussion. Mr. George.
Good evening.
Good evening.
President Rivers, Dr. Davis, members of the board. I would like to present a couple of salary options for next year. Unfortunately, it is either or, not both.
Yes, please clarify, sir.
Proposal A, this is going to be a traditional 3% raise across the board, with 50 cents for auxiliary. And with this proposal, our beginning teacher pay is going to be $63,000. And our current beginning teacher pay is $61,600, so it is going to be $1,400 more for next year. And as you can see, for each category, for teachers, it's going to be $1.4 million. Certified professionals, $258,000. Administrative staff, $315,000. Paraprofessionals, $288,000, and auxiliary staff, $290,000, for a total of $2.6 million. This is what we traditionally do, and since the legislature is still talking about the budget, so we would like to present another proposal as well, if the board is not feeling comfortable doing the 3% traditional raise. Proposal B is going to be a one-time incentive pay, again at 3%. And this is going to be a one-year commitment, 23-24 commitment only. The beginning teacher pay remains at $61,600 because we are not increasing that minimum pay. And we are proposing to pay in 2 equal installments in 23-24. And there are some stipulations. The employees must be employed 22-23 and continue in 23-24. And it's going to be a TRS eligible pay. And again, the total estimated cost is $2.6 million. And while I was listening to the legislative proposals, there is going to be more money coming to the district. So there are proposals to increase the basic allotment. There is one proposal to increase $100 per ADA. That's going to be about $1.3 million. Another proposal to increase $150. That's going to be about $2.1 million. Another proposal increasing $200. That's going to be $2.7 million. So I don't know which one is going to be approved eventually, but anyway, what point I'm trying to make is we're going to get some additional money for the district in the next year. And also we are experiencing growth about 4 to 5%, so that itself is going to bring another $3.5 million into the district. So I'm pretty confident if you ask me for going with that proposal A, but we would like to present the second option if the board is not feeling that comfortable. Any questions?
I have a question. I like the 3%, but the auxiliary, I feel like we can look into that to see if we can bump that up for our auxiliary employees.
I can, come up with a few more numbers for you.
Based on the 50 cent for auxiliary, what's that percent? Do you have an idea what
It's
that?
about 3%.
About 3%.
About 3%.
On what the average hourly rate is. Okay. So if we discuss, let me go back to it real quick, Abraham. On the 50-cent salary increase on 341 employees, is that something you'll have to, if the board wishes to go back and consider an increase in that, what would that entail for you?
That 50 cents is good, is $290,000, so another 10 cents would be like another about $50,000, another 10 cents.
Okay. Is that, with that number based on, again, the ADA property values, and I know we dropped our, we lowered our tax rate this year, which was great. We would still, under that $3.3 million, would still be well under that to be able to afford this and not have to be concerned about whether we could prolong that raise and even into next year. Yeah, is that fair?
Yes, that's fair.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any other questions?
I do. Just for the purposes of competitive districts with a 3%, I know we've normally given a 3%.
On that, yeah, for the most part. On
I
that.
think for me, times are changing, and if we could just get some numbers for more than 3%, would that really put us in a bind if we went any higher than 3%? Because of the districts around us, they've gotten a little more.
Yes, ma'am, I understand, but we don't know how much we're going to get from the states. That's the dilemma I'm facing. The other districts around us are also considering on an average 3%. So that's why we want to put it out there so we don't want to get behind waiting for the legislature to come up with, the final numbers. But if the board wishes, then we can go back and come back with some new numbers to compare.
Yeah, I would just caution the board again, this is 3% is pretty solid. I mean, again, it's still, so you need to be fiscally conservative because there are some unknowns there. I would tell you, based on conversing with colleagues around the area, that's 3% is very competitive. I mean, some folks are doing 2%. I mean, nobody knows. Of course, we're all trying to be competitive, but 3% is competitive. And so even some folks are deciding to go with the retention stipend, so they're not on the hook for recurring payments because it's the unknown. So I think we got to be a bit careful. And you can always go back, guys. You can't, just keep in mind, let's just say the legislative session, the legislators decide to even give us more money. You can always go back and increase it, right? So you always have that option. You just don't want to overdo it initially, where you're on the hook for that going long term, so.
Yeah, and with the raises, it's also, we're locked in for forever until, unless we give a raise next year. With the stipend, as we've been doing the retention stipend, that's a one-time. And so with that also, we did the retention stipend in March. So that's a new thing for us, which we've done the last few years. A lot of districts have. We can also do that if we feel like. But that doesn't lock us into anything. And with our starting teacher pay at 60, which would be $63,000, that's still very competitive in one of the higher paying districts in our area. We're not the highest, but we're pretty close to that, especially for what we have in our size district. Our finances are really sound, but committing ourselves to something prolonged. And I'm with you. I always want our employees to have be the highest paid employees, but being able to do that again next year is what I'm looking at long term also.
So when you say we can go back to it, that things could change, just so I could get a better understanding. So let's just say we agree. If we agreed on the 3%, we could come back at how long would it take before us if legislature passed, we get some great money?
That's typically finalized, in August, the legislative session?
Towards the end of July, August,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, we will know.
So then we will come back if we chose to and talk about it then?
If we chose to do that at that time, because there are a lot of variables, obviously with the new employees that we have to hire, the budget changes at that time also, as the budget's gonna be finalized in August or July, finding out what we're gonna have to carry for next year, and then, so and I'm just being honest, I don't think we would revisit, for me, I don't think the board would revisit that until, I couldn't tell you when that would be.
That's all I wanted
It's
to know.
possible, we could, but I think for us, the most practical thing would be to attempt to do, if we wanted to do something different or increase it, to do another retention stipend, because I don't see the shortage in staff and teachers alleviating itself in the next year. So we may still have to be creative, and I think the most creative thing to do is financially, is being able to pay our teachers and staff and everyone else concerned, so. Yeah, so that, we have options to do that later on besides just giving a raise and locking ourselves. Because the last thing we want to do is end up short on our regular budget and then have to dip into fund balance for a raise that is year after year after year. And then also what we do is then you can make the argument, well, we get 5% this year theoretically, but then next year, which is possible, we wouldn't be able to do anything because just of the way the finances work, so. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So for the recommendation that's on the table right now, changing those numbers, can we do that this evening?
Okay.
You can update those and update the recommendation for what we have.
Sure.
If we go to the 60 cents, is there any discussion on the 60 cents on the hourly? I know we're just discussing it right now. Okay, if we can plug that number in and then update the recommendation when we get to that.
Sure, thank you.
Thanks, Abraham. Okay, moving on to consent agenda. Is there anyone that needs anything pulled from the consent agenda? If not, we'll entertain a motion for A, B, and C.
Mr. President, it's recommended the board approve consent agenda items 7A, B, and C with a copy to be attached and become a part of the minutes.
I have a motion by Ms. Archie. Second by Ms. Martinez. All those in favor? Motion passed unanimous. Okay, item 8, new business, athletic catastrophic insurance.
Mr. President, it's recommended the board awards the contract to Texas Kids First Greater East Texas Insurance Associates for student athletes and catastrophic insurance for the 2023-2024 school year for a cost of $55,895 with a copy to be attached and become a part of the minutes.
A motion by Ms. Archie. It's on the first page, 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
second.
Second by Ms. Martinez. Comments or questions? All those in favor? Motion passed unanimous. Item B, attaining membership with Omnia. Omnia?
Mr. President, it is recommended that the investment policy set forth above and the investment officers be approved with a copy to be attached and become a part of the minutes.
Have a motion by Ms. Archie,
Second.
second by Ms. Martinez. Comments or questions?
I read the wrong one. I apologize.
Did you read the wrong one? I
I
wasn't
read the
paying
wrong
attention.
one. I apologize.
What did you read, Ms. Archie?
I read C.
Oh, I'm just moving on.
It was my glasses, I'm sorry. So I go back and I need to read.
You're slipping, Ms. Martinez. You didn't catch it.
Sorry.
Okay. Mr. President, it is recommended that the district renew membership with Omni Partner National Cooperative Purchasing Alliance with a copy to be attached and become a part of the minutes.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Archie and a second by Ms. Martinez. Okay, comments or questions? All those in favor? Okay, motion passed unanimous. So you read item C, right, Ms. Archie? And then you had second. So we already have a recommendation and a second. Instead of retracting that, we already have the Archie and Martinez for item C. We don't have to go backwards. Okay, comments or questions under review investment policies for the district? Yeah, for item C, right? Yes, correct. Are there any comments or questions for item C? No? All those in favor? Motion passed unanimous. Moving on to item D, consider purchase of 4 buses that we just saw tonight.
Mr. President, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve Longhorn Bus Sales LLC for the purchase of 4 76 passengers Model C3411 conventional school buses at a cost of $128,741 per each, including an additional buy board purchase order fee of $800 for a total cost not to exceed $515,764, which is the best value for the district. Additionally, it is also recommended that the Board of Trustees approve Thomas Buses of Houston for the purchase of 1 special needs bus model profile SAF T-Line C2221TS at a cost of $124,500 per each, including an additional buy board purchase order fee of $800 for a total cost not to exceed $125,300, which is the best value for the district. Furthermore, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees authorize the superintendent or designee authority to approve payment and authorize expenditure which do not alter the contract cost or contract time, and with a copy to be attached and become a part of the minutes.
That was a long one. Have a motion by Ms. Archie, second by Ms. Martinez.
That was longer
That
than
was
the
a novel.
scripture.
That was a
That was
novel. You
longer
did
than
well,
the
Miss.
scripture I
You did
read.
well, Miss Archie. All right. So the special needs buses, that's not a, I don't mean it negative. That's not a smaller bus, or is that the regular size full bus? Is that what it said?
Special needs bus has a smaller student capacity, but
Yeah.
it does have some features that the other buses won't have,
Right.
like an automatic lift.
You're lifting, okay, all right. Okay. Comments or questions? All those in favor? Motion passed unanimous. Okay, item E, consider district-wide camera replacements and upgrades.
Mr. President, recommend the Board of Trustees approve the purchase and installation of IP cameras and microphones from Base Computers, $85,591 labor and material to install network cabling from Tag Communications, $94,817 purchase, or switches for DataVox, $94,817, and storage arrays from Dell Technologies, $69,468, $69,468 with a copy to be attached and become a part of the minutes.
I have a motion by Ms. Archie, second by Ms. Martinez. There's a lot of stuff in that one. Okay. Okay, comments or questions?
Okay, you gotta get it.
All right, all those in favor? Motion passed unanimous. Motion passed unanimous. Consider salary raise proposal. Do you have that, Abraham? Or
Yes, sir.
We have a recommendation. Is there someone that makes a recommendation for the raise? I can give them that.
Which one? I do it.
You want to do?
Well, I mean, y'all got me reading like I'm at church anyway.
So it's going to be salary raise with proposed change of 60 cents.
What's 66?
For a total necessary cost of $2.7 million.
Okay.
Okay, consider salary raise proposal.
Mr. President, it is recommended the Board of Trustees approve Proposal A salary raise with proposal change of 60 cents for the total estimate cost of $2.7 million with the copy to be attached and become a part of the minutes.
Abraham, is that good, Abraham, for you? Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Archie, second by Ms. Martinez. Comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor? All those opposed? Okay, motion passes 5-1. All right. Okay, so that takes care of new business. Moving on to board did you get that, Sandy? Okay. Board information, if anybody wants to discuss any of these items, please stop me. Item A, tax collection report, March 2023. Investment report, March 2023. Expenditure and revenue report, March 2023. Quarterly major expense report, April 2023. Enrollment, April 2023. Monthly discipline report. Monthly bond update, item 9G. Sandy, are there any comments? Okay. We have already adjourned closed session, so we can move right into action on closed session items. Moving on to personnel, item B, as in boy.
Mr. President, it is recommended the contract recommendations for the 2022-2023 school year be approved as submitted with a copy to be attached and become a part of the minutes.
I have a motion by Ms. Archie, second by Ms. Martinez. All those in favor? Motion passed unanimous. Item C, attached supplemental pay.
Mr. President, it is recommended that the supplemental pay for the total of $41,100 be approved with a copy to be attached and become a part of the minutes.
A motion by Ms. Archie, second by Ms. Martinez. Comments, questions? All those in favor? Motion passed unanimous. Item D, contract recommendations, Chapter 21.
Mr. President, it's recommended that the Chapter 21 contract recommendation for 2023-2024 school year be approved as submitted with a copy to be attached and become a part of the minutes.
Motion by Ms. Archie. Second by Ms. Martinez. All those in favor? Motion passed unanimous. Item E, contract non-Chapter 21.
Mr. President, it is recommended that the non-Chapter 21 contract recommendations for the 2023-2024 school year be approved as submitted with a copy to be attached and part of the minutes, including the addendum.
Thank you. Ms. Archie, recommendation by Ms. Archie. Second by Ms. Martinez. All those in favor? Motion passed unanimous. Non-renewal term contract, item F. You have that?
Yes. Mr. President, I move that the board accept the superintendent's recommendation to propose the non-renewal of Assistant Principal Kevin Hayes, and further move that the board direct the superintendent to give the required written notice.
Have a motion by Ms. Martinez.
Second.
Is that you, Ms. Archie? Second by Ms. Archie. All those in favor? Motion passed unanimous. Item G.
Mr. President, it's recommended. Oh,
Yeah, she's got it.
She got the thing, okay.
Mr. President, I move the board approve the superintendent's recommendation to propose the termination and suspension without pay of teacher Ruth Cantu, and authorize the superintendent to proceed as discussed in closed session.
Have a motion by Ms. Martinez.
Second.
Second by Ms. Archie. All those in favor? Motion passed unanimous. Okay. Moving on to unnecessary business. Item 15A, early college class of 2027 pending. KHS Performing Arts Center, April 20th. That's tomorrow? Thursday. At 6 o'clock, if anyone is interested. Oh, no, I'm having a massage. No, oh, never mind, sorry. Okay. So anyone who wants to attend that, I plan on being there. B, Top 10 Celebration Class of 2023, Humble Civic Center, April 27th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. Item C, Board Workshop, May 2nd at 6:30 p.m. Item D, Sheldon Stars, honoring Sheldon ISD employees and retirees, KHS Panther Center, May 4th at 6 p.m. I'll be attending that. Item E, retirement dinner for Dr. Davis, May 16th, 2023 at 6 p.m.
7. Oh, you're right, sorry.
Where's that gonna be? Why is there no location down? Oh, it's gonna be, okay. All right. If you wanna attend, it's gonna be here apparently.
Keeping it simple.
Is it potluck? Is it? Okay, it's May 16th. Well, we got Mr. McCall here. Dr. McCall, I'm sorry, we got Dr. McCall here. Item F, regular board meeting, May 16th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Class of 2023 graduation, Panther Stadium, May 26th, 2023 at 7 p.m. What's our graduating number?
Sure, it may change, but
778.
778 at this time, okay. Wow.
Oh, have mercy.
Summer Leadership, San Antonio, Texas, June 14th through 17th. Let Sandy know if, I think you registered,
Yeah, she already registered.
today.
Yeah,
Okay.
she registered today.
but the hotel hadn't opened yet, right?
What?
The hotel hadn't opened yet?
Yes, I got the Marriott Riverwalk.
Oh, the river.
I could not get the River Center.
Couldn't get the River Center? I'm not
I'm
going
gonna keep trying though. Wasn't available.
Is the River Rock where we stayed last year?
I like the
Right? I think so, across the street from the river. Yeah.
one of them was under renovation.
Oh, okay.
There?
Which one?
Okay, item 16, board suggestion, recommendations, future organization information updates. We've got a couple. One is the CAP program at the middle school. CAP, yes. And these are just ideas as we can space them out. The Early Learning Center, what our numbers are, what we're doing for, what do we call that, tuition or the?
We're still breaking even.
Yeah, if we're breaking it or we're supplementing that or not, and what our numbers are, what our registered tuitions are for that.
You got
The what? Early college, high school update. And as JR mentioned earlier in his presentation, the Harris County Clinic, do we?
On May 2nd, I have the
You have it.
diagrams ready, and so I'll be bringing that forward on May 2nd. Yes.
Okay, there we go. And then at some point, you know, whether it's May or June or something, if we can get an update on, athletic update, where we are number-wise, what we did this year, and all the programs, yeah, athletic update, just, you know, I know our softball girls are going to, are we gonna get a softball like we got the football one? Hey, I'm proud of that. Yeah, that's a good deal for me. Yeah, so, as we spread those out as we need to. Suggestion for future agenda items? I think those are enough, right? Okay, then we will, if there's nothing else, we will adjourn at 9:44. Bill made it before 10. Look at there. Welcome. Oh, yes.
I want to put up a rotation.
All right.
All right, y'all. I see y'all later. Y'all have some. See y'all later. Y'all have a wonderful